December 2nd is a date that should be carved into the gravestone of modern capitalism. It is a memorial to the specific kind of blindness that infects the smartest people in the room right before they burn the building down. 24 years ago today, on December 2nd, 2001, Enron filed for bankruptcy. It vaporized $60 billion, destroyed thousands of lives, and turned a symbol of innovation into a synonym for fraud. But if you think this is just a history lesson, you are missing the signal. Enron wasn't an anomaly. Enron was a prototype. The mechanics they used to deceive the world, fake accounting, hidden debt, projecting fantasy as profit, are the exact mechanics running the global economy in 2025. The U.S. government is Enron, the Federal Reserve is Arthur Andersen, and you are the employee with your 401k invested in company stock, listening to the CEO say everything is fine while he sells out the back door. To understand why this matters today, look at what Enron actually did. They didn't rob banks with guns. They robbed the world with spreadsheets. Their weapon was mark-to-market accounting. In traditional business, you book profit when you sell a product, real money. Enron changed the rules. They said, "We are building a power plant that might make $1 billion in 20 years, so we will book that billion as profit today." They counted money they hadn't earned. They booked the fantasy of the future as the reality of the present. Does that sound familiar? Look at the U.S. government. They justify $37 trillion in debt by projecting future growth that will never happen. They are booking the future tax revenue of your unborn grandchildren as collateral for the loans they spend today. It is the exact same fraud. The gap between the fantasy on the spreadsheet and the cash in the bank is getting too wide to hide. The second tool was the special purpose entity, shadow companies like Jedi and Raptor. When Enron had bad debt, they didn't fix it, they moved it to these shell companies, legally off the books, practically still a liability. Today, what is the shadow banking system? $60 trillion of off-balance sheet leverage? What are Social Security and Medicare? Unfunded liabilities hidden in the fine print. These are the Raptor partnerships of the American empire. Debt does not disappear just because you hide it in a footnote. It festers. Enron hid the rot for years. Fortune magazine named them America's most innovative company 6 years in a row. This is the psychological trap. The smartest guys in the room. Ken Lay, Jeff Skilling, they were arrogant. They mocked skeptics. They believed they had reinvented economics. Does that remind you of central bankers calling inflation transitory? Does it remind you of politicians saying deficits don't matter? It is the hubris of the elite who believe that because they have a printing press, they can defy gravity. They are the smartest guys in the room, and they are all idiots, because reality always wins. The collapse happens slowly, then all at once. First, the cracks appear. A missed earnings target, a whistleblower, the stock slides from 90 to 60. The executives tell you to buy the dip. Ken Lay encouraged employees to buy stock, while he sold $20 million of his own shares. That is what leaders of a dying system do. They use you as liquidity. When the Treasury Secretary tells you the economy is strong, that is Jeff Skilling calling you an idiot for asking questions. On December 2nd, 2001, the music stopped. Credit ratings were cut to junk. The cash was gone. Enron ceased to exist. The buildings remained, but the value, the trust, vanished. People who played by the rules lost everything. They were left with a coffee mug and a lesson learned too late. We are living in Enron. The Western financial system is a web of mark-to-market fantasies. And just like Enron, the auditors are in on it. Who audits the Fed? The Fed. They are grading their own homework. The lesson of December 2nd is about the fragility of complex systems. Complexity is not strength, it is camouflage. The more complex the financial instrument, the more likely it hides a lie. Simplicity is truth. Gold is simple. Land is simple. Energy is simple. Derivatives and fiat currency are complex lies. So what do you do when the building is burning? You don't wait for the official announcement. By the time the alarm rings, the exits are blocked. You look at the insiders. In 2025, billionaires and politicians are selling stocks at a record pace. They are getting out of Enron before the filing date. They are moving into hard assets. You need to treat your exposure to the US dollar the same way a smart Enron employee should have treated company stock. Diversify. Get out. Do not have 100% of your life tied to a fraud. Because when the Chapter 11 filing comes for the U.S. economy, be it default, hyperinflation, or a digital reset, it will happen fast. You will wake up and the accounts will be frozen. Enron was a flare shot into the night sky. It told us that size does not equal safety. We ignored it. We built a bigger Enron, and now the bill is due. December 2nd is not just a date, it is a mirror. Do you see a smart investor protecting their family? Or do you see a loyal employee holding the bag? The bankruptcy lawyers are in the lobby. The shredders are running. Get out while you can.